Here's the truth. Growth is messy. It requires you to let go of old versions of yourself, push and expand your comfort zone, and learn to dance instead of resisting change. Welcome to week 6 of the 90-day challenge, where we cover 7 micro tasks, activities, and questions in order for us to build resilience, for us to take the mask off and really reconnect with who we truly are. So, for those of you that have been here for the previous 6 weeks, I celebrate you and I acknowledge that you have consistently shown up. Now, the reality is, you have shown up even when it's messy, even when it's a bit scrambled, and that is fine because you've still shown up. So, on day 1, it's about learning to dance with change rather than resisting it, rather than fighting it, rather than making it hard, because there is many facts in life, and one of it is that we are constantly changing. From the moment we take our first breath as little babies, our body, our physiology, our ability to absorb information changes on a daily basis. And now that we are adults, that change is still happening. But we get to choose the way that we think with our mind. And if we view change as being hard, that is happening to us rather than for us, or that we get to make choices even when change presents itself, because there's never only one way forward. There's at least 2, potentially 3, and maybe many more. But we need to be flexible and open-minded and detached from the ultimate outcome of how we need to get there. Focus on the why. Why is the change? Why is this opportunity taking place? So, by learning to dance with change, it becomes less of a struggle and more an opportunity to learn and grow. And that means we've got more energy, because if you struggle against something, then your energy gets used up, you feel drained and exhausted, and it starts impacting your mood and how you show up for yourself and for the people around you. So you've got choices. You can learn to dance with change, even if it's change that you've not necessarily instigated, that you can't control. You're made redundant from your job. You can either view that as the end of the world, where am I going to get another job? Or you see it as an opportunity. Well, did I really enjoy that job? Was I really satisfied? Yes, it was good for a paycheck, but now I get the opportunity to go and either try something that I enjoy more, or I work for an organization that is more suited to my values. The choice is yours. Day 2, it's about releasing the old versions of you. And this is where, from the moment that we are born, we are changing and evolving. Now, past versions of ourselves did the best that they could do with information, knowledge, skill sets that they had. But today, we get to be us in the version with our kind of resilience, strength, and capabilities and skills, because of what our old versions did for us and what they experienced and the lessons that we learned from that. So it's about acknowledging that and appreciating the fact that our previous versions aren't versions of ourselves that we should feel angry and resentful towards, or shame and guilt towards. We did the best that we could do. So you can either write a letter to your past version, you can keep that letter and refer back to it in a year down the line, and then you can keep writing a new letter to yourself. You can burn that letter as a little ritual or a little way of saying, thank you, but now I release you and I let you go. Or you can tear the piece of paper up. You can just even verbally say, thank you, old version of me, because I get to be me today, and I get to be the person that shows up. And in a month, 2 months down the line, I can be thanking the version of me today. So how about you sort of like look at your past version and let that past version go and embrace who you are today, and in order for you to create space for the future version of you that we will reclaim by day 90. On day 3, it's about stepping out of our comfort zones. Now, comfort zones are comfortable. They are to keep us safe, keep us in a familiar pattern of behavior. And if that is serving us, fantastic. But the reality is, over time, that comfort zone starts feeling a bit small. It starts feeling claustrophobic. We want to start pushing and expanding so we can grow and learn, because that is part of the human experience. We're constantly evolving, we're constantly changing and progressing. Now, if we are choosing to embrace the change and make changes happen because we've either decided to take up a new hobby or get a new job or start training and gaining more skills, whatever it may be. And in today's kind of world, maybe it is about embracing AI technology and figuring out what it can actually help you with and make your day-to-day life easier. So stepping out of your comfort zone is your choice, and you can decide how fast you go or at what pace you go. Some days maybe you want to do more and others you want to do less. But that's where the magic happens. That's where you start looking back and you say, oh wow, I've achieved all of this. I feel so much stronger, more resilient because I've shown up. I've got healthier relationships. I've got a healthier relationship with myself. I am able to stand up and have healthy boundaries and have a voice that is heard, because I am not shying away and being invisible in the background. I'm choosing to stand in the limelight in the main character role of my own life. So, day 4, it's about progress over perfection. Now, seeking perfection is almost like seeking a goal that is never going to materialize, because there's always going to be more information you could know, more practice that you could have, but it keeps you stuck. It keeps you ruminating. Then you look at other people around you that didn't wait for perfection, they just get on with it. They put in the reps, and as a result, they've improved. They have gained skills that they didn't have on day 1. But if you just sit about waiting to get the perfect time or the perfect information, the perfect outfit, the perfect conditions, then you're never really going to make any progress. And you're going to start judging and criticizing yourself or blaming people around you, rather than looking at the fact it was your choice to not take action. It was your choice to get caught up in the kind of loop of thoughts that don't propel you to take the action. But hopefully, by doing these micro tasks and showing up week after week, you are demonstrating to yourself that you are taking action, and it doesn't have to be perfect. In order for you to go a walk round the block, you just need to put a pair of shoes on and you can move, you can go out. You don't have to have the perfect pair of shoes. You don't need to have the perfect outfit to go out. You just need to have some clothes and you need to have some footwear, and you can go out. So it's your choices. So look at what what maybe you're not doing, what you maybe need to start saying, stop trying to make this perfect. Let's just do it. Let's put the repetition, create that memory muscle in order to create that proof and evidence of, yeah, I can see the progress and the improvements being made. On day 5, it's about celebrating the fact that this is 6 weeks. 6 weeks of showing up. Even if you're just watching the video and maybe doing 1 out of the 7 micro tasks that I am giving you, you've still shown up, you've still watched, you've taken time out of your day. Your subconscious is probably starting to think, oh yeah, these are things that maybe I am ready to start pushing my comfort zone. I am willing to take some practice runs, not get it right first time, because at the end of the day, that is where the joy, if you were just like doing something and getting it first time, hitting the bullseye every time, then it would just become boring. It wouldn't inspire you to keep doing it. where there is a bit of challenge, where there is an opportunity to experiment, to try different things, that is where you actually sit back and look on the previous 6 weeks and you think, God, how much progress I have made, how much more evidence and proof that I've shown up for myself. So take the time to self reflect. On day 6, it's about trusting your timing. Everything in nature happens in its own time. Now, with climate change, the trees and the birds are adapting, and they are sort of like when spring comes, they are actually starting to bud and do their thing. But then, if it gets a cold snap, then they're sort of retracting back in. And this is where our expectations, so the moment we come into this life experience, we take our first breath, we don't know when our final breath is going to come, but it will come at some point. Now, if you feel that you've got a ticking time bomb going to go off, that you need to achieve absolutely everything, then you're creating an expectation and an urgency that creates either the stress or the anxiety that propels you to take the action that you're taking. Where if you just trust that as long as you're showing up, as long as you're doing the things that are enabling you to fill your cup, energize yourself, be the best version of yourself, be kind and compassionate towards yourself, then your interactions with people around you will be kinder, will be more compassionate, there will be more joy and contentment. And as a result, everything will feel that it's not a struggle, it's not hard, it is the ebb and dance and flow of life and how we're showing up. Now, does it need to happen by Sunday? Or does it need to happen by the end of the month? Or can you just be present, do the best that you are doing, and let the timeline work itself out? Now, I appreciate if you've got a deadline for work, if there is a deadline that you have created for yourself, you're launching your business and you need to get something out into the world by a certain time frame. I'm not saying about ignore that, but what I'm saying is everything in life doesn't have to be a deadline or a timeline that you need to be achieving. It can be a process where you can just go with the flow. Now, when I set up my online business just over a year ago, I had all these expectations. I'm going to have so many clients and I'm going to be doing so many cases. And because I wanted to impact people. But as the journey has evolved, I've come to realize, well, even if I'm just impacting one person, that is a cause for celebration. Why am I creating these targets, these timelines? When the student is ready, the right teacher will appear and the interaction will happen. And as I've sort of started to relax and slow down and trusting that things are happening in the right timing, the right opportunities appeared and the right collaborations happened. So rather than attaching to an outcome and struggling and criticizing yourself for maybe not pushing through and hustling as hard, it's about relaxing, dancing and ebbing and flowing. Some days you might be more productive than other days. Some days there will be more opportunities than others. But it's about accepting the fact that everything is unfolding at the right time in the right way. And it's about celebrating that and not making it harder on yourself. And then day 7, it's about acknowledging that growth and change happens in spirals. It's not a straight line. So going up that analogy of going up the mountain, you can go up the most direct route, but once you get up there, that's you at the top, the end of your life, the top of that hill. And yes, it might have been the hardest struggle of your life to get up there. Did you enjoy it? Did you really get to embrace every aspect of it? Did you get to be present and really connect with people? Feel and experience love connection, kindness, and compassion towards yourself and to the people around you? Or were you so blinkered at getting up that hill at no matter what cost that you get to the end of your life up in that mountaintop and you look back and you're like, I just worked all the time. I didn't have time for friendships. I didn't have time for relationships. I didn't have time to really stop and smell the roses. So I'm not advocating that it's about taking the foot off the gas and do nothing, just sit there and meditate all day and be self-aware and present and be kind and compassionate, but you're not taking any action. What I'm wanting you to do is acknowledge the fact that it doesn't always have to be a straight line. There might be some times where it feels like you're going backwards, and that is okay. You're gaining another perspective. This is where the dance, the ebb and flow of the life experiences come into play. And new opportunities might sort of arise as a result of that. And I'm finding that in the past few months, where I have detached from pursuing a goal and an outcome and given myself strict timelines to work towards, I have enjoyed the process more. I have connected more with people. I have connected with myself, and at the same time created the foundation for new opportunities, new relationships, new opportunities to grow, expand, and enjoy the experience that I'm going through. So allow yourself to see the spirals. What is the thing that you've sort of been pursuing in the past 6 weeks? Are you seeing that the change has not been a linear process, that you might have needed to ebb and flow? So out of all the 7 micro tasks that I've sort of like shared today, which is the one that really resonates with you, that inspires you and motivates you and wants you to take action and do that activity? Let me know in the comments below. Share it so the rest of the people watching these videos can feel inspired too. Now, I'm also creating a free PDF resource that covers these 7 microtask activities and some other inspirational content that I'm posting on LinkedIn. So if you want to gain that free resource, my details are in the description below. Send me an email and I'll send you that information. So in life, we've got choices. You can struggle against and resist against change, and it makes the growth and the learning experience much harder and not joyful and contentful. Or you can learn to dance. And as a result, with dancing, you're still learning, growing, but you're enjoying the experience. You're enjoying the growth, the pushing of the comfort zone, and you're becoming wiser. You're learning the lessons faster as well. And then you can like come up with new goals, new aspirations. So you don't just hit one peak, you can hit 2 peaks, one after the other. So go out and seize the day. Have the most amazing day, whatever you're doing. And remember, there's always choices in life, so choose wisely. Bye until the next one.